for a second. And I couldn't get connected, but we're all good now. We are live. Clear. Ooh. Get ready for some magic today. Let me tell you, I totally forgot that it was Easter weekend this weekend. I mean, I have to work the whole thing, so like I give a shit anyways about Easter. But the energy, you know, I'm always about the energy and what is happening, and there is some serious energy coming in. So we're going to get rid of a lot of illusions. All right. That's why this whole moon eclipse is so... It's a lot of energy because, man, these illusions are just coming to the surface. Like, I think a lot of truth bombs are going to be dropped, and oh man, oh, I spilled coffee all over my book. Hey, a little piece of cedar just waiting for me. I've been waiting to do a magical reading, and I haven't had I can't say not the energy to do it, but it hasn't been the right kind of energy. It's absolutely the only way that I can put it. Energy has to be read a certain way, and it has to be wanted to be picked up and manipulated and brought through. And we have to respect it. So there's this huge level of respect I'm trying to gain with magic here. And so far, it is working. So we're going to do a full reading today using all of the magical tools that I have in my little trinkets. Let's start with the dice. Whoa, they almost wanted to roll off. Oh, okay, we're doing South Node right now. Maybe somewhere no, that's North Node. Okay, thank gosh. Okay. I was like, man, do I really want to go south with this? Not really. Aries, North Node, 8th house. 8th house, transformation. Oh, it's Scorpio energy, rebirth, sex, karma, debt. The North Node. All right, give me one moment. No one's in the house anyways. Okay. Okay, pardon me leaving. Okay, so we're dealing with the head of the dragon. Okay, we're dealing with North Node, and we're dealing with North Node and Aries. And Aries is that Emperor energy. Let's see where Aries is on this other chart that I've got here. Mars energy, freedom, aggression. Okay, so what I feel like is happening is like somebody's getting, like someone's transforming, okay, or transforming something in their life, and they're like not giving a shit about anything anymore. You know, it's like when you deal with the head, you're not dealing with the heart, you're dealing with the head. It's straight logistics, it's straight knowledge. It's just like the way that I see it would be a king of swords. And it's Emperor energy. So it's almost like Emperor standing with a sword and standing in his truth and being like, I don't care. I'm going to transform this. Whether you want me to do this or not, or you want me around, it doesn't matter. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this. It's like almost like I kind of feel being a judge, right? Because you know the way that a judge is. They have to be grounded. Right? They have to hear the evidence. They have to have everything laid out to them. And then they decide how they feel about it. Okay? That's the thing. Okay. I don't know if you're being truthful or not. I mean, you could be being honest. I don't really know if you could become more gay after being gay, but good for you. Or if you're a troll and you're trying to mess with this reading. Anyways. Okay, so we're dominating something. That's what I feel like. Okay, let's see what the ball says. Ooh, big mouth. I see a really scary face, like somebody who's angry. And that's the thing. People who are angry are not easy to deal with, obviously. See these like big, I don't know if this person's got a big mustache, but I also see that cleaning shrimp on Finding Nemo. I don't know if you're cleaning up something, or if you're very like, this person is going to get unhinged and you just are like, yeah, well, whatever. I'm just going to continue to clean up my life and do what I do. And you can get as hinged as you want. Like I do kind of see hinges. Like you can become as unhinged as you want. You're not going to bother me. Right. And your eyes are very open to it. Their eyes are like squinting, like they're refusing to see where you're wide open. Like, what are you talking about? I'm wide open. You're the one that's choosing not to see something here. No buts about it. Aries energy. Simple aggression. You don't need to be angry with it. It's simple. You fucked up. Go away. I just saw a house of sacrifice. Honestly, you know, I do know a lot of people that sway away from the truth and they don't say how they truly feel because they feel like it's going to affect somebody else how they feel. Which it might affect somebody else, but it doesn't mean that you don't have the right to feel a certain way about something. And if you're going to transform, then maybe you're getting into a position now where you can't be biased, right? I almost see like maybe working at like a shelter or something, you know, like you got to hear facts, right? You can't just feel sorry for people or feel bad for people or even see image anymore, right? Emperor is not concerned about the image of something. He just wants to be stable and he wants to be in a good position to keep everybody else stable as well. He gives people a place to go. He gives salvation. He's got shit locked down for a reason. And I don't know if that's maybe where you're transforming to, or you might be coming face to face with somebody who gives you a lot of flack about something and you just kind of stand there like, You can get as angry as you want. I already saw this happening. I already saw you doing this. So freak out all you want, but that's just showing your true colors. And that's the thing. When people do that kind of shit and they break out in front of you and they start yelling and they're throwing punches or they're doing something, it's like that shows their character. Somebody needs to see somebody's character, and maybe that's what you're going to keep hidden from now on. That's a really good strength, is to be able to hide your feelings, because not every situation deserves your feelings or needs your certain input or people need to know how you feel about something. Everybody needs to know, right? That's Emperor status too. Like, just keep things quiet, keep things to yourself, do things yourself. I find a lot of people, especially on social media and stuff, they're always voicing everything. They're always telling everybody what they're doing at that exact time or what they're trying to manifest and it's so unpersonal, like they're just vomiting diarrhea and they can't wait to go out and tell everybody what they're going to be doing. And I know that feeling of that desperate feeling, needing attention from even complete strangers, right? You need attention. And now it's like someone's realizing that there is no growth in needing attention from something. The more attention that gets put on something, it can be detrimental. And maybe there's a lot of pressure being put on somebody's karma. Maybe this is karma coming around and people have to pay their debts and you're like, you can't feel bad for these people. I don't care if they've got 5 kids and they can't pay their bills. Honestly, they have to pay you back. You have to set up a line of payment plan or something. People cannot take from you without giving it back. That they will never learn. And it only takes one person. Oh, there's so much better people in the chat. Okay, there were, I don't know, some other people in the chat. And I don't know if they're being truthful or not. Hi, Wen. I don't think so. I think Cancerians and I think anybody can be emotional. It doesn't matter what sign there is. Or it doesn't really matter what sign they are. Anybody can be an emotional person when they're not grounded. This person is grounded. That's why I'm like, man, these karmic debts come up and these people have to pay you back. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm getting into these situations in my dreams where like my stepmother's coming to me and because she's older now and, she's past 65 and she wants to be treated like an old person now. And I said to her, when you violated me, when you did things to me, you were a young 31, you were a young 27, you were a young 40. I don't care that you're in your 60s now. You deserve to pay for what you did. I don't see you as an old lady. I still see you as a witch. I still see you as the person who locked me in my bedroom, lied on my behalf, got me whooped, got me kicked, got me grounded, got me penalized, got me called a liar, deemed pathetic, left all alone. I mean, what this woman did to me, she doesn't not deserve to pay because she's older now. I don't care how old these people are. They don't get to get your sympathy because of their age. And maybe, honestly, our missions change so much. Like, I know my sister works for the court system. Her name is Court. It has court in it. I know she's hierarchy. Just like Whitney, I'm a witness. Okay, I'm a witness to something, and I'm usually a third eye witness. I always tend to see people breaking the law, doing something, and I don't have to care about it. I don't have to do anything about it. That's not my job. My job was just to be there and record what was going on with my eyes, to see what was going on with my own eyes. Okay, and if these people are coming back around and they have something to pay back, they have a debt to pay, and they're coming to you and they're going, I'm old, I've got kids to pay for, I did that back when I was in high school, like I'm not like that anymore. And it's like, yeah, well, a lot of people change and a lot of people don't. And I don't know if you really have changed. And I don't have 1700 years to fucking go through and fucking, read your book again and see if you have actually changed. All I know is that when I was around you, you chose to steal and you walked away and I had nothing. So why do I care if you have nothing? And now my debt has to be paid back. That's nice. You left me penniless. Why do I care what the world does to you? If the world chooses to take everything away from you, so shall it be. If it chooses to leave you alone, so shall it be. But that is up to the universe. You are just here to make sure that people pay what they owe you back. Okay, it's not hard. It's actually very simple. Okay, and this person is going to get angry, and that's why the universe is like, man, you have been working hard for this. Okay, you have been. Ooh, Wenbird, we got some idiots in the house. Thanks, homie. This reading might be for you. If you're doing work in the chat right now, I can guarantee you this reading is most likely going to be for you, my darling. My darling Wendy. Don't think I didn't forget. You know I know. Okay? And you are grounded like a cucumber, my friend. When? I almost feel like Wendy, with the word Wendy, you got to wonder, it's almost like when you cross paths with somebody, it's all about when. You've got something to do with timing. You've got something to do with timing. And plus with the fact that you put a bird in your name, you're all about timing. You make sure that things happen on time. And we all have these little jobs that we have to do. And like, just like you came in on the chat, like, look, you just found me. And you're already available when I need you in the live, because this live gets attacked by robots on a daily basis. Okay, there is always somebody attacking this channel, and it's because it's so bright and it's so beautiful and it helps people, and it takes all that dark energy, right? It takes dark energy, but we outstand them, like we outglow them, because we have the power to remove them from the chat and they can never be seen again. Right? We have more power than them. So they try to do these things, but then we're like, pow, 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 right? Because we're emperors. We're situated. We know what's going on. We're naturally planted in masculine energy. Okay. Simple aggression. Okay. The drive and the freedom to want to stay that way and not be infiltrated by something that wants to hurt us. Okay, and then death away and allow these karmic debts to be paid, regardless if somebody is 155 years old. I don't care how old you are. You have to pay for what you do. Wow. Oh my gosh. Like, I have not been going live because I've had to wait for this energy. And trust me, once the sun has her eclipse, holy crap, people, you don't even want to know what's going to happen once that shit happens. Like, talk about popping off. Like, it's like we're getting these illusions are coming through right now. We have this tiny little window. Because I think the sun eclipse, my sister said, was like the 8th of April, something like that, the 7th or the 8th. So we have this like tiny little window where all these illusions are going to seep through. It's like somebody forgot to reseal the package of illusions, and now everything's coming out, right? And it's because it's been forced down and it's been hidden for way too long. And you know what energy does. You can't suppress energy. It will explode. And that kind of explosion, it causes mass destruction. I keep watching The Dark Knight Rises, and it's for the ending. That bomb that goes off. But Bruce, Batman, gets it away from Gotham before it goes off. But it doesn't mean that the Batman in every story got the bomb away. This so-called, what would it be like? It'd be a very symbolic kind of exploding, like it would be just a lot of people just suddenly combusting, right? And no surprising, we just went through the full moon. When the full moon comes out, people are just crazy. And now we're going into all this darkness. So people are going to be drinking in this blackness and allowing things to come through. And it's like, I really think there are going to be karmic partners are going to break up. Okay. Things are going to happen because the illusions are no longer veiled, but the illusions will only be unveiled to those who deem worthy of that lifting of the veil. Right? Because some people won't care. Their lives get exposed all the time and they don't give a shit. And they're just trying to do their 9 to 5 and make as much money as possible. Hey, Heather. Heather, you chilling with Wenbird right now. She's keeping the chat under control. Because we've already had some losers come up in here. There's Miss Emily. Look at Emily and Heather. Just a little bit late, but don't worry. Wenbird's been holding it down. She's been keeping the chat for reals protected. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. Curse in reverse with genius in reverse. Look how stupid these people are. This is what I'm talking about. This is how dumb these people are. Okay? They put out these curses out there, and they were too dumb to realize that what goes around comes around. Oh, young minds and magic that is just way too strong for them. You know, it's like a 10-year-old trying to drive a Corvette. You think that's going to go over well? The little fucker's legs aren't even going to be able to reach, let alone stop it and start it. As soon as he puts his pedal down to the floor, that thing's going to take off 100 miles an hour, right? Like somebody couldn't keep control of something and it went out of control, okay? And that's why energy happens this way, right? It's like eclipses happen to keep people being found out and told on. Like the universe is like a big giant narc. Okay, it wants people to get told on. It wants people to get fucked with, right? It doesn't want people breaking the law around it all the time, especially when they're doing something illegal that involves Mother Nature. Dude, look at how many cards just fell down. Why so many cards? Nature. You know, you gotta love these messages when nature come in, because then I'm like, oh, good God, who is fucking with nature? Okay, there's Jaws. Okay, this is like way too many cards. What are we doing here? Oh, Jesus. All right. Y'all are gonna have to just give me a minute to do this. Yeah, curse in reverse. Okay, so the thing is that the curse, whatever we're removing, okay, whatever is moving the energy along and the universe doesn't want to deal with it anymore, okay, it wasn't buried that deep, okay, which means people who have been doing this kind of nasty work against other people have been doing it very sloppy. Okay, so sloppy that they've actually been pissing in their own backyards and killing their own grass. Okay, because again, somebody taught them that urine has fucking fertilizer in it or some shit. Okay, yeah, go piss on all the birds. That's a good fucking sign. And then the birds, they come back, right? They come back and they attack. Like, oh, you think you can, piss in our water bowl and we're not gonna, I don't know, ooh, there's the fire department, I don't know, not want to fuck with you back? Like, really? I mean, animals are ruthless. They don't give a shit about you and your family and your babies and your bullshit. Animals don't care about that. Just like just like Rosemary's Baby, they didn't care about her. They wanted what was inside of her. The baby, Satan's baby. So, okay. Oh, okay. This might be like, I did a reading a while ago that was called Satan's Children Rise Above Him, right? A lot of us were created in very demonic energy because our parents were blackout drunk, okay, smacked up, right, blowed out of their mind, or in pure anger, okay? So we got produced through whatever toxic energy they were inducing at the time, okay? So we got put in a world full of lies from conception, okay? You gotta imagine the people who are in trouble for fucking with their children upon conception. That's a true Like, I was going to say monster, and then my mouth wanted to say narcissist, so it kind of came out narcissist, okay? Because this person is a monster narcissist. They immediately fetal abused. Immediately, okay? Immediate fetal abuse. Because this person had such a ridiculous mask on that really what they were doing was they were just trying to cultivate energy for themselves. They weren't really trying to do anything that involved create something in a loving, balanced manner. Okay. This was a whole town of lies. Everything was a lie. Everything. Okay. Down to the family pictures, the family picnics. Okay. The house, the picket fence, all fake. Okay, all these people were trying to do, from the looks of it, was to put you, I almost feel like put you in a bad position and then all of a sudden blame you for it. Like, I can't stop thinking about Ruby Frankie. Honestly, like these stories keep popping up. And it's just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse as to what this fucking woman did to her kids over the course of like 20 years. Okay. And it's the Ruby Frankies that are getting caught because those parents too, that thought, hey, it's a great idea to go beat our kids. Hey, look at this woman's beating her kids and she's starving them. You fucking let's subscribe and start treating our kids like that, because now we've got a reason to do what we've always wanted to do in our heads, but we didn't think we could do because our kids have more rights than us. So it's like there are these people that taught parents that the rights are actually in the parents and that kids have no rights whatsoever. And these kids have to live with these lies on the outside. Like, I'm a part of that. Like, my parents, the house that we had and the life that we had did not define what was living inside of that house and what was inside of those people. But it looked good. So people left us alone. Nobody dug into anything. Nobody wondered everything, right? It was more or less, they look fine, leave them alone. Just because something looks fine doesn't mean you just leave it alone. I watched a guy, okay, get recorded on a store camera watching a woman getting abducted, and he just stood there. She was kicking, she was screaming, she was yelling for help. She was yelling, this guy's kidnapping me. And he just stood there pumping his gas and did nothing. That is society now. Nobody wants to mess with the person who's getting fucked over, because then they think, I don't want them doing anything to me. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. But when their ass was on the line, they expected everybody to stop and give them attention. But do you think they're going to do it for other people? Fuck no. Okay. They're narcissistic. They don't know how to do it for other people without putting that spotlight still on them. Okay. And again, now I'm getting Yellow Wolf. Yellow Wolf puts up like a lot. I just realized I had social media the other day from when I deleted it over a year ago. I don't go on social media. So all of a sudden I'm going on social media and like, I like Yellow Wolf, to be honest. I love his music. I love his personality. He dresses a little bit fucking weird now, and he's got maybe a little bit too much money. I liked more greasier Yellow Wolf when he was broke, but rich Yellow Wolf, I guess, is okay. Anyways, he puts up so many posts. Okay. And it looks like he's having a great time. You know what I see? A very lonely man trying to find anybody who will give him attention. And I'm not saying he's narcissistic. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that, yeah, okay, this person could have money. They could have shit popping. They could be going golfing all day. They could have fucking Grammys on the wall. It doesn't mean that it's true. Realize, like, it kind of looked like I was just giving you a little bit of piece of fruit of information there. Okay. Like, it doesn't mean, like, I think Eminem's got over like 50 Grammys or 60 Grammys or something like that. And like, I bet you they're all in a box in his basement. Like, who gives a shit? You won an award. Great. Who gives a fuck? Now make something better. Okay. this curse, it's like they wanted so much validation for putting this out there, right? Like, hate my kid. My kid's an asshole. They're a liar. They're addicted to this. They're going nowhere with their life. They're a loser. You know, they really wanted and thought that that would gain them respect. Okay. And really what it did was show the world how kind of murky and disgusting they really are, and that they're willing to fuck up their own house just to make something look good on the outside. That is scary. Okay, that is scary. And then to say that it is all orchestrated by the one that they are cursing, even fucking grosser. Okay, that's even more sinister. That's like, you know, this person passed a line on doing some skeezy shit, and then they went like way past it. And they were like, well, you know, I've already crossed the line, so I might as well keep on going, right? Like an all-star does, like an all-star of hell. I mean, definitely not an all-star that we're like, yeah, you're on our side. No, you're on the other guy's side. You're not on our side. Okay, so the universe has harvested this because of the bullshit. It's too fake, right? It's too synthetic. And now I'm getting, oh man, I was watching this, the channel's called like Darcy and Jer, or Jer and Darcy or something like that. There's like these gay comedians in Canada. And Jeremy, or was it Darcy? Anyways, one of them fired their shrink because they had fake plants in their office. He's like, what crazy person has fake plants in their office? If I wanted to talk to a crazy person, I'd go look in the mirror. And I'm like, yeah, that's a little crazy. Like, why would you prefer the fake version of something when you could have the real version of something, right? I don't know what this has to necessarily, like this we started the reading with this Empress energy. Okay, sorry. Well, Emperor, Empress energy, I guess, grounding. Okay, the North Node and no longer giving a shit. So it's like, whatever these people did, whatever they cultivated in your life, whatever road they drove you down, okay, you got out of it, and now this is the price that they have to pay for what they did. So that's why Spirit is like, do you really want to just let them go with the technicality that now they're a little bit older? Who gives a shit? When they were doing it and they were fully lethal and putting you in whatever energy that they wanted to, they were in prime. They were prime ages. They knew exactly what they were doing. And they knew exactly who they were doing it to. And they knew exactly what the consequences were going to be. And they were probably hoping, well, by the time they find out, we'll be like in our 80s and they'll just leave us alone. Now I'm getting the song Teenage Wasteland in my head. Okay, somebody could have been a massive fucking basket case, drunk, falling off their ass, okay, because of what this energy did to you. Because of your parents, or because of these genius people, okay, putting this on you and then deeming you the bad person. Like, that's like, oh my God, now I'm getting Rosemary's Baby. Okay, that's like them putting an evil demonic spirit inside of you. And then you slowly start to waste away, because that's exactly what happens to her. She starts to waste away. She starts to die. This demon is killing her. And then being like, it's the kid's fault. But I thought you put it into them. The kid didn't orchestrate that on their own. Right? Like, what did the parent do? It's like coming down to, I think a lot of people got away with blaming their children for things, or blaming a vulnerable for something. Even though they were in charge, they blamed the vulnerable. When now the universe knows, if an adult was in a room with a vulnerable, and a vulnerable does something, or an innocent does something, and that grown-up was supposed to watch or be in charge and be in control of that situation, and they weren't, they let the child take over, that parent is now getting charged. You can't push your energy onto a child who does not know their consequences just yet. Children are kind of sociopaths. They don't really know what's right and wrong, okay? Like they try. I mean, you teach them, but they don't know. They don't know pain yet. They don't know what the effects of that they can do to somebody else's lives. They're just off in their own little world. It's all about them. There's no rights, there's no wrongs, and there's no human rights to anybody else. Right? So you can imagine how people can take that little tiny frame of mind and allow it to create who they are as an adult. Because nobody taught them, hey, by the way, that's not the way that us people think. That's the way a childish sociopath thinks. Not somebody who knows the difference between right and wrong. Right? I can't stop saying Teenage Wasteland. Travel some cross land. Put out the fight before we get cold shoulders. I do not really know the words to a lot of songs, okay? I usually sing the wrong words. I don't need to fight. Oh. Man, I spilled coffee. And I got it on my tarot cards. No wonder they get so angry with me. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Quit crying. No. No. You don't want this one. It's only Wasteland. Yeah. I've got way too much shit on these shelves. Oh my God. Okay. Whew. Don't cry. Don't raise your eyes. I just dropped the entire deck on the ground. 52 pickup. Here we go. It's more like 78 pickup. Did anybody ever get you on that? Hey, you want to pay 52 pickup and then threw an entire deck of cards on the ground and made you pick them up? As you can see, I know about the game, so I got douched by it, clearly. Ace of Bones. Ace of Wands. Bones. Ooh, the Fool. 4 cups. 9 of cups. Six of Pentacles. 2 of Blades. 8 of Blades. 2 of Cups. Whoa, the Moon. This is what I'm talking about. See what I'm talking about? So the Moon is still. This is what we're talking about. This is it. There's the divine right there. Like, we're getting a glimpse at looking at something again here. So I don't know if this is a new message or if this is like kind of continuing into the first message, but what I'm getting is there could be hidden growth on something. Okay. And I think somebody had kind of intended on possibly taking a new start from you. And it's been said that if they do, as you can see, I really don't want to say this, but like you have some right to terminate them. Which is kind of scary. Like if they block you again, you have the right to end them. And I don't know if that means to physically cut their air supply off or to bind them up in something so tight that they'll never be able to move again. Like this is why, I mean, I still have these dice sitting here. Like these dice are still ruling the reading. This is why you're in your Emperor energy, because this is what this is the consequences of if they don't get out of the fucking way. That's the consequences. They're going to either choke themselves out or get bound up. And now I'm getting, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Mirrors with Reefer Sutherland, but his sister actually pulls her jaw and kills her in another dimension, dislocates her jaw. Okay. And, you know, at this point in time, you could turn on, like these people could turn on themselves, right? They get so amped up, they get so angry, and they go and they put themselves directly into harm's way, which is what I've seen multiple times. People do is they're so enraged and they're so angry that they get put right onto the path of karma. And either a cop is right there to see what they do, or they get run over, they get stopped, they get depleted, taken out, right? Because they become that loose cannon, right? That stray bullet. You really don't know what they're going to do or where they're going to go and who they're going to strike. You know, I watched this Forensic Files episode once of this kid. He was only like 16 years old, was working in a gun range. He was sitting down. They were in a completely secure area. Okay. And this bullet ricocheted from the outside range. It caught so much air that it went up and over the ceiling rods. And as it came down, hit a boy, bang, right in the temple. The odds of that, they couldn't even replay that shot. There was no way that a gun could ever fire that shot again. And that's how the world works. I don't know what sign that kid had on his back, or if that was the trigger man's fucking karma. I don't know. But that was the most insane shit that I've ever seen in my life. Watching something and being like, there's no way that even that forensic team could replay that shot. If they didn't have the technology that we have from computers, they would have never figured it out. Okay, so maybe now we're diving into this reading of like Ace of Bones. Maybe they didn't realize that you had the Ace of Wands, which means you had your fire. You had your, what do you call those things? Your torch. You had your torch. And I don't think they knew that. And even in the darkest of dark, you just lit your torch like a fucking smart person would do. And they were like, well, everybody else just tries to walk around in the dark. Yeah, well, you're not everybody else. Why would you choose to walk around in the dark when you had your own homemade torch with you? Right? Like this person was so stupid. They're so stupid. And we can say that because ignorance is not bliss, okay, to the ones who are afflicted by it. But it is bliss to those idiots at the time that think they just get to get away with everything. Oh, yeah, ooh, I'm getting away with everything. And then poof, like a fart in the wind, they disappear to the judicial system. Whether it's in this life or in another, this side or the other, they go down. Everybody sees what you do. It's kind of crazy. Whether or not they're looking on your own fucking cameras on your phone, or they're just in general staring at you through drones and CCTV and fucking cameras at Sears and Home Depot. I mean, you name it. They're just watching you. They're watching everything. People can see everything. And it's so funny, the fact that people, as of this day, we're going to constantly bring through like readings of these idiots who really think that karma plays no form in this life at all. Really like those, cutthroat, straight to the edge. I don't care what you say. I don't have a soul. We just die. We die. We go 6 feet underground and that's it. Those kind of people, they're here for a reason. So we need them as much as we need us, right? We can't all be like us or nobody would get anything done because this place is a fucking sham and we know it, right? High Priestess energy. It's like, this is hidden. This is hidden knowledge. What happens to people is very hidden. Right? They don't know. They don't know what's going to get them. And now the universe is kind of saying, you know what? If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, this reading isn't for you. And if you do, then just know that I think you did a really good job at hiding in the dark, growing something out of sight, using what you needed, and then it was like going out of sight again. Kind of very genius. Especially people aren't going to leave you alone, because now you're like, all right, well, now we're coming up to this karmic cycle, and I told you to leave me alone, and I told you that if you didn't, this was what was going to happen. And now that's why the universe is like, be cutthroat to these people, cut straight to the point. They fucked up, did you dirty, and now they have to pay the price for it, right? You're not karma, okay? You didn't decide to fuck you over a long time ago to come back and get repaid now. That wasn't your decision. That was their decision. They did all of this because they decided to. So now you got to let them put their big boy pants on, their big girl pants on, and come and pay the fucking bill, because they owe you big time. Big time. It's like infinite wondering now what you're going to be able to do, because it's like you're free of this, because you've got them in this position where they can't do anything. They're powerless. That's how I feel. They're powerless because they know that they took you to the edge and they kind of like hung you off. And now the roles have turned around and now they're hanging off the cliff and you're holding on to them and they're screaming for dear life. And you're going, I don't really know if I care to pull you back. Like when the roles were reversed, you were going to watch me drop to my death and you didn't care. So am I supposed to care about you now? Like it will cut to somebody's heart for sure. And that's why even emperors, will shed a tear here and there if they fuck up or if something happens on their watch, right? They're not above emotion, right? They're like all four kings in one. So it's not that they're above emotion. They just will show that side when they need to. And they don't need to do that right now. There is nobody that's asking you to show an ounce of fucking compassion. because of what they did to you. This is all what goes around comes around. You can show them as much as you want. You can do whatever you want, but you're being advised that that is a way bigger person. And if you show them that much compassion, then you are a way, way bigger person. And regardless, they will get the karma that they deserve. No matter what. You're not the only one that they did something to. You're not the only one that they fucked over. So if you let them go on good behavior or because you're feeling nice that day, then you can go right ahead. They will possibly get their a-holes ripped apart by somebody else. You don't necessarily have to do it. And I don't blame you if you don't want to do it because it is dirty. It's a dirty job. You know, sometimes even being a tarot reader, it's a dirty job. This one lady, we did this reading, and it took me, for one, forever to finally get this woman on Skype to do this reading. And this whole time, she wants to talk about her ex-boyfriend and how her ex-boyfriend is with this new woman on a trip. And she wanted me to go in to that room and into that vacation spot, wherever they were, I forget where she told me, and spy on them. I want to know what they're doing right now. Like, is this a joke? Like, I was like, is this a joke? And then I was like trying to derail her off that a little bit and kind of be like, you know, can we just like talk about you? Because I definitely feel like there's a lot of negative energy that's kind of like coming out of you. And like, I really think that we need to deal with your energy right now. And she's like, no. He's with a new girl. I need to know exactly what they're doing. And I need to know if he's going to come back to me. And I need to know if he's thinking about me. Ask your cards. And it was so violating as a reader. I was like, she gave me a really bad recommendation to somebody, which was awful. I couldn't believe it. And she kind of like, I mean, considering I still think about it sometimes, like that, I'm not trying to think about this lady all the time, but like it does pop into my head where I'm like, oof, remember that fucking lady? Like, oh my God, it was such bad energy. It was such bad energy. And I was like, that poor guy who dated you, like, you know, just have a good vacation. It was like I was secretly telling this guy to just have a good vacation, that I was really, really sorry that I was asked to come into their space and spy on them. I really didn't know what to do. And I just kind of, again, you know, derailed her a bit. And then by that time, the reading was over. And it's like what people want to know about other people is so sad. Like you don't always, even if you do see the inside of somebody's life, it doesn't mean that they're going to show people the truth. They want people to see them in a certain way, so then they look happy. They look like they're entertaining. They look like they're in such a good place. But if this person has a camera in their face and they're recording everything that they're doing, I can probably almost guarantee you that that person is not happy, or they wouldn't have their phone anywhere near them. Like, I don't ever have my phone on me. Are you kidding? Oh my God. It was the worst when I was trying to find a job because I would keep my phone on airplane mode and my phone, God knows where in my apartment. I missed so many calls. Oh man, I almost missed this whole job because I fucking put my phone on do not disturb and missed this guy's call like 3 times. Like, what do I think is going to happen on my phone that I'm going to miss that I can't find out later or at a different time? Like, if I miss the information, I guess I missed the boat. And that's what I feel like in a lot of situations. I feel like I miss majority of the information. I don't know how. And then once I figure out all the information, then that's when the rules change. Surprisingly. I'm like that. I get that kind of odds. Like, as soon as I win something, it's like, no, you don't win like that anymore. That was last year. Oh, of course, because now I won. Why wouldn't the rules change now, right? I think that has to do with a lot of my parents. My parents did not like me, and they would not wish me well at all. I was living like in this really, actually this really sweet apartment, but the room was the size of a fucking jail cell. Okay. It wasn't really a room, more or less like a closet, but this chick needed money because she was really broke. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'll move in with you. And it literally was the size of a jail cell. Okay. And it was gray. I couldn't believe it, how much I felt like I was in jail there. But I just let my third eye just pop open, and I painted and painted and painted. And holy shit, man, this fucking woman's energy, she wanted to suck me dry of everything, of every penny that I had, every ounce of energy that I had. She wanted me in there so then she could get a boost of money a month. And that doesn't boost well with me. Okay, I don't like when people do shit like that. And it kind of got to the point where if she didn't let go, if she didn't stop, then it was, you know, because I think we do have a lot of missions, especially if we're the kind of those lost souls, like those hopeless wanderers that kind of go from pillar to post trying to find somewhere to live. I think that is a lot of mission work because it shows people's true identities. Are they really here to help people? Are they really as good as they say they are? Or are people coming to them in desperate need of help and no one's helping them, right? And it just goes to show how fake and how fucked people really do look, right? It could be something like that. Like somebody could have denied you something. And now, again, that's coming up, right? Like you had the opportunity, you had money, you had prosperity to start something. This was your dream. You had the passion, you had the drive, and then poof, they just said no. And they merged it in darkness. So then you can't pick it up anymore. You can't do anything with that energy, right? It's almost like you were on the epitome of something so big and so bright. And then, but you needed a car, let's say. Okay, you needed a vehicle to do this. Well, suddenly you lose your license. Or they just flat out take your car. You know, they take something so bad on it that you can't get it fixed. Because they know that that mission can only be done if you have that certain item. And people are mad malicious like that. They will cause trauma to hurt people when they feel like somebody is going to get out of their prison, right? And lead themselves to a better place. People don't really want to see you get to a higher place, you know? And that's really sad. And that's why at this point, you know, if somebody's been using you in some way and you've been giving them money, you know, for this start because you knew it was going to help them and they went two-faced on you and then they went black on you and then they stopped you, then of course the only thing that you can do is immediately ask them to get the fuck out of your way. And if they don't, that's when you start doing some shit back to them. And that's where obviously this energy has picked up where now you're like, you either get the fuck out of my way or I'm going to take your breath away. And I'm going to take it away for a while. This is not just you get your breath taken away for a couple seconds and it scares you. I'm going to hold on for a bit. And then I'm going to make you bite your tongue. And I'm not going to let you say anything about anything because I'm going to have complete control over you. Like, ooh, this is like, I'm getting that Ruby Frankie again. I don't know if she came up. Where'd she come up in this reading or the one before? Oh, the other one I channeled. But, you know, like this is what I'm getting where I got this like third eye view from her child and she was above me. Ruby was above me and she had her little friend with her, her little Jody friend with her. And this Jody woman and Ruby were standing over this child whose eyes I was then in. And they were saying, you can never tell anybody about this. You did this. They were calling me evil. You're evil. You've got something inside of you and we're going to get this thing out of you. And if you tell anybody, I swear to fuck, we'll kill you. And like, and I was a child and I was like, what? I was terrified. I was so scared of these women. And, then it was like the next day I woke up and these videos started hitting again of Ruby Frankie, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know where or when that vision happened, or if I was there. I don't know if I went into that kid's body at the time where these two were yelling at the same time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how your third eye works. I don't know how sometimes these visions come in. I don't know. I know that the way that these visions come in have solved massive crime out there and given away points of an investigation that nobody would have ever known. So I know that we are connected and that we have the ability to help each other, right? It's like a form of Fallen, right? That movie with Denzel Washington where the devil's jumping into people. It's a form of that, but it's much lighter, right? It's much more, it's almost like it's got a police investigation on it, kind of, right? Where you would only be asked to give your eyes, okay, if you had seen something, right? Like no one is going to take advantage of you, is how I'm feeling now because of what has happened in the past already. So that's why Spirit is kind of like, okay, well, you now have the ability to kind of like castrate this person. I just heard, like, you have the ability now. All the cards are in your hands. You hold all the power, right? Because the vision got taken away from you. So now this is your redemption. This is the karma coming back around for you. That's why you stand in your Aries energy, in your Emperor energy, okay? And you don't let these people pass, because what they did was so bad that they need you on fresh alert to know that, like, yo, these people are going to go down. And what they did and how they hurt you and how they stopped you was part of the mission. And no, it might not have supposed to have been going that way. You know, like, you can't say that, well, it was supposed to go this way, or supposed to go. No, like it might have been always to go the way that it did. We can't control that, right? We can't control that. All we can do is know and trust that when we invest in something that we were told was a new start for us, and it involved what we deserved, and it involved what we truly wanted, and we were almost able to make that happen, and then we were suddenly put in the dark. Like, what do you think the odds of that are? It's like you suddenly, I literally see somebody on the edge of an epiphany, like they are just about to find the answer that they needed for everything. Like, the people would call that the holy fucking grail. Or is it rail? Holy, no, it's grail, right? The holy rail. Maybe it is the holy fucking rail. I don't know. Right. And then somebody just snatches you. Nope. And that's been something that you've been working on for your whole life, 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years at this point. Right. And that moment to have that get taken away from you is grounds for serious karmic debt relief. Okay, like, that was so uncalled for. It's now coming back up as a reading and as a moon eclipse, for fuck's sakes. Okay, like, it has thunderstruck people. This isn't just little moves done by unpowerful people. Just because they don't have a status in front of their name and they're not King Tut doesn't mean that they don't have the ability to fuck your whole life over. Of course they do. Anybody has the ability to do anything they want. They just have to put their mind to it. It's the power of the fucking mind. And that power of the mind has drastically altered our dimension in which we live, for fuck's sakes, right? So how dare they think that they can just turn the lights off and take this away from you again? It's almost like that's why you're coming through it with the Ace of Wands, because if they do, and if they try to turn those lights off again, you've got your torch. And they can't take that away from you. It's a part of you. It's how you're being driven forward. So if they want to do it again, I fucking dare them to try. Because it's only going to fuck them over. I mean, it's going to show them your strength, your ability to withstand any obstacle, to be the force that is to be reckoned with. I mean, you want to fuck with my house? I'll fuck with yours. And go into battle like that. I mean, my old boss used to tell his staff on their way to work to listen to Slipknot. Because he was like, I need you fuckers amped when you get here. None of this. I want to hear thrasher shit coming from your windows when you pull up to this place. Because if you're not amped to do what we got to do right now, it's going to affect us. And you know that one motherfucker that shows up at 5 or 6 o'clock ready to do their shift and they're sleeping. And you're like, you had all day to sleep. I know you, bitch. You work 25 hours a week. You had all day to sleep and you're still tired. Like, get outside, drink a Red Bull, come back in and give me your fucking all-star game, bitch. I don't want to see anybody slacking. It's the last period. This is it. This is literally the last period. We only have this little tiny bit to get this bullshit through so then these fuckers won't stop us again. They can't pull the lights on the game. I almost see this as like a basketball game or something, right? It's like they pull those lights, everybody gets fucked. But their little guys have like the lights around their head and they know where they're going. And it's like, okay, well, now we're going to be prepared. They shut the lights off again. Everybody's got their torches and we're going to light this bitch up, right? It's not your first rodeo. And that's why so many of these readings come through as like, yo, you know this. You already know this, but you've kept it from yourself. So then nobody got into your head and A, read the book on what they were going to do in the future, and B, keeping it quiet means nobody can ever find out about it. So you can't aid to the destruction of you or your plans to rise to the top as soon as the war starts. Like, give me all you got. And I love that phrase. Okay, I don't know if you've always seen that movie, Fear, with Mark Wahlberg. Hey, yo, a murderous murder man coming from a bad land, playing hardcore, kicking down your front door. Okay? At the very end, okay, Mr. McAllister? Yeah, Mr. McAllister, okay, he goes to David McCaw's house. Okay? He fucks that house up. Because David went and saw Nicole at the mall and he wasn't supposed to. There was a restraining order. David wasn't supposed to come anywhere near Nicole, but he did anyways. So then Nicole's dad goes and fucks up David's house. Well, okay, the meth smackhead crew finds the McAllisters all cozied up in their little mansion and wreak havoc. And what does Logan say as he's about to ram the door down? Hey, Mr. McAllister, you fuck with my house, I fuck with yours. Eye for eye, tooth for fucking tooth. Universe isn't playing anymore. And obviously this is why the first thing that came out was Emperor. You gotta step in boss mode. None of this, I'm a feminine, I don't want to hurt people. I get it. I don't want to hurt anybody either. But do I want some people to maybe pay for what they did? Yeah. Okay, because there's a lot of fucking nasty people out there. And at this point in time, I don't even give a shit what they did anymore. Just get them out of the fucking way. Get this karma dealt with so that we can move on. That's all we're asking. We just want to move on. So many of us just want to move on. Okay, we want closure. We want to move on. And we want some type of new start. Because we keep trying to start and they keep stopping it because they turn the lights off. Like, again, Batman, when Batman turns off the lights at the end on Bane, it's kind of like at the beginning, right? Is when he faces Bane for the first time and he turns the lights off and Bane goes, oh, you think darkness is your friend? Bane grew up in the dark. Darkness has been his ally. The sun has only ever hurt his eyes. So, these people gotta be careful about where they're coming to bring this shit. My ex-boyfriend I dated for a while, he was a son of a bitch, but he taught me a lot of shit because he grew up basically on an island. He told me to shut my flashlight off. My flashlight was really pissing him off one night when we were going from one side of the island to the other side of the island. And I'm like, why are you so fucking against my flashlight? And he's like, I can't see. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't see? The whole point of a fucking flashlight is to see, you idiot. Look through the flashlight. And he's like, oh, look with your eyes. And he like mocked me and everything. It was amazing. I love being mocked when I think I'm right and really I'm wrong. And he's like, look, just wait for a second. And I did, and I could actually see better with the light of the moon than I could with my flashlight. Riddle me that. Batman. Really? Batman. I fucking love Batman. We got any Batman people in the crowd? Like, I fucking love Batman. Like, I can't get Batman out of me right now. And, like, Bane has now become, like, my favorite character in the entire world. Okay, Bane, the Guardian. Okay? We didn't realize Bane was a Guardian. I mean, 3/4 of what he stands for is completely fucked, but Batman is coming through because Batman is the Caped Crusader who comes at night. People don't see him. They see him and then he's gone. Right? So maybe you've got an ally now in the dark. That's like, oh, you put me in the dark? I was born and raised there. Right? But they don't know who they fucking with. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's putting a movie, this basketball movie that I watch. Okay. It's called O. Okay. O, just the letter O. And it's a basketball team. And there's some serious jealousy that happens and O gets fucked with. O gets lied to. And then he kills himself at the end. And he says, once he realizes that people are messing with him, once he realizes that someone's in his head and they're doing something to him, and he says they don't know who they fucking with. And it always gives me goosebumps because he's so angry at the time. And actually, I met this woman recently who was telling me about this man who runs this Swiss chalet in this tiny little town around us. And she said to me, okay, when she was working there, she worked for a Swiss chalet for 18 years, okay? She worked for this guy for like less than 6 weeks and quit the company. This is how bad this owner was, that he actually sent a woman straight to the psych ward. And she was only like maybe 21, I think, or 22. And I go, what do you mean she went to the psych ward? And she goes, I don't know what this man did to her, but he was in her head, she said. That's all this woman could tell me, this lady would say, is that I swear he's in my head. He's in my head. And it's like she was going crazy and she drove herself straight to the psych ward. And I think she was there for like a year. And I believe it. My stepmother has massively been in my head since I was a child, and I don't know how she did it. I don't know if my father gave her permission to get in my head, because she's not my mother. How did she get permission to get into my head? Who gave her permission to get in my head? Because I didn't. I was a kid, so I didn't do it. Okay, or was I looking for a motherly figure because mine wasn't interested in being a mom, that I tried to stretch my energy out to Cindy and accept her as a mother, and she didn't want me as a child? She found me disgusting. She never liked how I dressed. She never liked how I was. She always called me dirty. She said nobody would ever love me. She called me gross. I told her the truth about what happened to me as a child. She called me a liar right away. She always wants the attention to go straight to her. She's very narcissistic. She turns the tables onto her every time. She will not let anybody have the spotlight. She will not let anybody have the microphone. Okay, and now that I bought a fucking microphone, I will never give her the rights to my head, my speakers, my microphone, nothing ever again. She has no right to be where I am. Okay, so it's like whoever did this had no fucking right to do it. And that's even more of a piss off, because if they had a right to do it because, you know, you had some karma built up from the past, then, you know, maybe this could be like, you know, it goes around, comes around, and this was your come around, and it's very unfortunate, but, you know, at least you didn't die, and at least you didn't lose everything. But this is like, yo, I think this person made you lose multiple things, multiple cycles, and now wants a get out of jail free card. Like, wouldn't we all? Like, what does that cost you? 300? Like, fuck. What is wrong with people? Like, it's all fun and games until the gun gets turned onto them. And then it's like, oh my God, they're frantic. They can't handle it, blah, blah, blah. But when they had the gun, they could make all the decisions, and they were all confident. Oh, I've got it. I've got the power, you know, and then the power gets sucked from them, and you realize that, no, they didn't ever really have the power at all. And if they had actual power in general, they never would have used it to hurt you or to hurt anybody, right? Unless they were awful, evil people. But you had that much power, you would use that for yourself and the ones around you. So then you would create more power, more good luck, right? Like, it just blows my mind how people choose to manipulate energy and then just fuck themselves over because they want to hurt some people because they're so hard done by. Well, like, you know what's even a more pain in the back of a bitch is to rise to the top and watch all your haters stay on the bottom. Like, what happened to that? Like, why do you got to come back and like hurt people because now you got a gun? I got myself a gun. Yeah, well, I got fucking nunchucks. Fucking, you try, I'll try. You know, like people are just like, oh, the human ability to sustain and to live in dark energy, you know, that's how the child gets out of the prison in Batman. Born and raised in hell, you can get out. Born and raised in privilege, I'd like to see you try. You don't know what it's like down here, right? You are made of privilege. So what makes you think your knees are fucking dirty when I'm the one that's got the callus, right? Like, you know, fool me once, shame on you, but fool me twice, shame on me. The universe isn't going to get shamed twice. You know, the universe has the ability to feel like an idiot as well. Okay, like, they don't always make the right decision about things either. I mean, with power comes great responsibility, and they aren't always making the right decisions up there, which is why they put the power in our hands so then we can do something about it, because they can't do everything about everything. Okay, and yeah, they've got a lot of power, but they're not in 3D. So who's got more power? Most likely we do in a lot of the positions. Okay, you abuse that power, then, I mean, God damn, does the world ever get pretty optimistic about how they can fuck those people up. They get very colorful, very creative about how they can shove that karma back down other people's throats. Oh, I just looked at the word cancer. Absolutely. They love to hide as cancer. They'll kill an entire fucking fleet down with one cancer cell. You know, it goes into baby, it goes into the next baby, it goes into the next baby, it goes generation to generation, generation. Like, I mean, life has the ability to shut life down. It's the creator. It's also the disembodiment, right? Like, wow. It's true. I mean, now I'm getting like Planet Earth. You know, I don't know if you've ever watched the part where they go into a forest and they watch the decomposing of like of the leaves, and they're like, you realize like in the woods nobody rakes up the leaves, right? Like in the woods you're kind of just supposed to leave the leaves where they are, and they become part of the ground. I mean, it takes them years and years and years to break down, but it all becomes a part of one another again, right? It's like the great circle of life. Now I'm getting fucking Lion King. It's the circle of life, right? Like, this is the circle of life. This is what goes around comes around. This is the philosophy of life. That this is a philosophy that got tested. And the testees failed. Bad, because it's 3D and people have the ability to burn people. There are scars everywhere, just like there is on Lion King, right? They get a little bit of power and they abuse it instantly because there is suddenly nobody there to challenge them. Mufasa says it, with great power comes great responsibility. As a king, you do not look at what you can take from people. You look at what you can give people. Okay? So whatever it is that you're being tested, whatever it is you're going up against, the universe is like, this is your opportunity to set the example, right? These people have been hurting with you. Are you willing to just let these cancerous cells, okay, in people take over and just let them go scotch-free because now they're old and they're moldy and they can't walk very well? Or are you going to set the example? I don't care how old you are, you broke the law and now you pay for that. Right? Lead by example. And sure, I just heard, well, there is compassion. Absolutely. There's a shit ton of compassion. And compassion gets shown through judges everywhere. Okay? You just got to worry about and think about who they hurt. Right? And what they did. And see what they did. And, when you're dealing with people who have hurt people, think about that victim, right? Not why necessarily, you have to look at both sides because a victim could have been a bully, egging that person on until one day they snap. And also a victim can be a victim of a crime, a heinous crime that really didn't deserve to happen to them. So you do have to look at the criminal. Or what would we call that? The accused. Right? Because you are, what is that? You're innocent until proven guilty. But you are. It's all allegedly until it's proven. Right? So obviously the universe has pulled the plug and noticed that these people keep pulling the power source out of something. They somehow keep turning off those lights and putting you into the dark. And, maybe that's why I keep watching Batman over and over and over again, because no matter how much I get put in the dark, we've still survived. And I found comfort in that dark because then I was able to hide. And the dark became my friend because there was nothing there that could hurt me. Until then, somebody started using the dark against me again. And then noticing that I was as comfortable as what I was in the dark, that they started turning the light on. And then I felt like there is this energy around me that constantly wants me to lose it. And I've been kind of doing the opposite, like if I spill something or if something breaks or something, I find pleasure in cleaning. Now, I find pleasure in cleaning up because accidents happen. And it just gives me an excuse to clean an area that I don't have to do later. Right? Really changing your perspective on how you experience this life will help you determine your mercy when it comes to these people. What's on the bottom? 9 of crystals. Like, that's, I don't know, like a lot of you have a lot of control right now. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You have a lot of control. So with that power comes responsibility. So that's why it's like always double check your facts. Make sure that you're reading between it, the lines, and that you're not just, you know, maybe there's more to a criminal than just a criminal, and maybe it's an abused mind, right? Maybe they did something because of how much they've been manufactured and fucked with over the years, right? Aww. Lindbergh, you're such a sweetheart. Look at you. Just working away, chatting away. Thank you so much for being here. You're such a nice lady. Do you like the pendant I made? So I'm making jewelry now, which I've been making jewelry for a while. But I made this pendant yesterday out of clay. What do you think? Do you like it? I did that with my hands, by the way. My sister couldn't believe it. I'll show you this. I don't think anybody else is in the chat but you. I did this little tiny mushroom island. I don't know if I've shown the world yet but it's like this little tiny garden of mushrooms that I did. Yeah, all by my little teeny tiny hands. Like I have pretty big hands, but I made these. Oh, you like it? I did show this one off too the other day that I did. This spider web to kind of help keep the energy clean and clear and under control. And oh my gosh, I've been doing so many things with clay. I have to kind of stop because I'm running out of it way too quickly. Once I get obsessed with something, thank you. I know it's so miniature, eh? I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this stuff yet. I'm kind of like I'm learning. I'm doing some different things, and they're probably going to get smaller, but I am going to start making necklaces like this, like just with pentacles on them and moons on them and stuff. And like, I love witchy things, you know, like I'm really embracing my inner witchness because it's super magical and it like allows me to just tap into different dimensions and do a bunch of cool stuff. I just love magic so much. I just give it so much credit now. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, magic exists. Everybody needs to believe in magic because like magic is happening. And I look like a fucking crazy person, but I don't really care. Do you think I really care? Let me ask. Okay, so I'm going to say, how does the universe feel about magic? Okay, and let's see what the dice say. I got my sister some dice too because she's studying astrology. She loves them. Oh my God. Okay, we got the moon. Where is it? Okay, that's the first one down, the moon. Okay, so obviously they know we're doing moon magic right now. Okay, with the 12th house. What's the 12th house? House of sacrifice, ruled by Pisces, spirituality hidden. Ooh, conclusions, art. Oh my gosh, it considers magic art. It is, and it is a form of art. And then we've got Capricorn, and you know, Capricorn is the devil, right? So it knows that magic is, so you know what it's saying? It's saying that I think it's saying that there's black magic being done by something demonic in the dark. And a lot of magic is being done by very evil energies. Okay. And it's being cultivated by very wrong things. Okay. And there's a way to do it innocently and there's a way to do it really badly. And the way to do it bad is obviously what it wants to talk about right now, because that's what we're dealing with right now. Is we're dealing like that, obviously that curse in reverse, like somebody's doing something and they're messing with energy and they're calling it art. That's not art. Okay. And they're saying that they're your enemy. How can they be your enemy if they're so focused on hurting you and you're just focused on moving forward? How is it that you moving forward could hurt them, right? Obviously, they're benefiting off of you staying back from something. And that's why the dice are in your corner now and telling you, like, you hold the main part of this. This all determines by what you do and how you believe and what you believe in. And if you choose not to believe, okay, now we're getting Now we're getting death magic, because people put death magic out there. They want people to die. They want people to not be here anymore. They want people to get out of the way for them. And that kind of magic is the kind of magic that gets exposed on this channel. Like, you cannot expect to do dark magic on people and it's not going to come out. Of course it is. That's the kind of magic that we actual witches fucking hate. Okay, we can't stand people like that. We do not see that as being magic. You do not hurt people. We do not do magic to hurt people. You do magic to help yourself. You do magic to increase your magic. You do magic to enhance your life, your experiences, your third eye, your chakras. You name it, what you can do magic with. Are you kidding? And all these people is focusing on what they can do to hurt. Like, the universe is not going to deal well with those people, because that's the energy that turns all the other people nasty too. You know how long it takes to turn nasty energies into good, and you just expect to turn them right back because you don't like what's going on in your life right now, but you're not willing to do anything to change it? Like, that's typical. Put your energy onto somebody else and expect them to deal with all your problems, right? So, the universe is not like dark magic. I guess that's the answer that we got out of there. Does the universe like magic? Is the universe like good magic? Scorpio, 12th, with the sun. Hey, we got the exact same roles, but with the sun instead of the moon. So when magic is done in the light for all to see, then consider it in good. So the universe likes good magic. They consider it to be art. And, oh wait, that's not, yeah. And that's, yeah, as long as it's hidden. So, when you do magic, it's all about your intention. It's all about what you're putting down, what you truly want out of it. Is it something good, or is it for something bad? Right? If it's good magic and it's in good energy, so shall it be. It will be manifested. And hidden until manifested. That's true magic. Being done in the light, but being hidden until ready to surface. Because not everything should really bask in the sun. Like, the sun can burn and it can overexpose, and it is such a big energy that it tends to overpower. So you have to be careful, even with good energy, because it is very powerful. Magic is very powerful, and the more you believe in it, the more it will work for you and benefit you. But make sure you're doing things in good energy, thus creating great energy around you, right? Good energy for all, not just you. Right? The energy can't just benefit you. It has to be beneficial for everything in order to work for you. Right? Universe knows how to do fucking tit for tat, eye for eye. Right? So, we gonna stop there. I can hear my sister cooking out there like a motherfucker. And I'm suddenly starving, Marvin. So I'm gonna go eat. Great live, by the way. Thanks for everybody for being here. Thank you, Wenbird. Rock'em sock'em, girl. Thank you for being here and kicking ass. Okay, I'm glad I'm reading your mind. That's great. You've been in here since the start of the reading. So, like I said, I hope it benefits you. Okay. And take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Thank you so much to everybody in this channel. Okay, this is such a great ride. For personal readings, whitneymoonshine at gmail.com. Okay. We do crystal ball, tarot, scrying, fortune dice, anything you want. You just let me know. Just a big old thank you basically to everybody into this channel, and I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate everybody on here and everything that you guys do, and honestly, such a great experience. So thank you. Have a great day. Bye, Wenbird. Bye. Oh, see you later, Bree. just missed us. We've been on for quite a while. So, yeah, thank you to everybody that's here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Goodbye.